and welcome back to my channel. Today we are here to talk about the aesthetic clean makeup look. Now let's talk a little bit about this look. This look is also termed as the no makeup look or the model off-duty makeup look. It is glowing skin, so we're talking about just BB creams, tinted moisturizers and lifted highlight placement. Then we have full fluffy brows, which mainly includes a clear brow gel and a brow pencil, followed by cream blush, bronzer, and then some mascara, followed by a gloss and minimal jewelry and a slick back hair look. You need very few products and you probably already own everything that you need to. But first we're going to talk about the whole controversy surrounding this look. However clean this makeup look sounds, is it really as clean as it is, or is it a toxic beauty standard? Now this look has been highly popularized by typically skinny white women with seamless glowing skin with perfect bone structure, and if you naturally blush, that's like a huge advantage. But then you dig in a little deeper and you find out that most, not all, most of these women have access to expensive skincare or procedures. For example, plump lips is something that this calls for. I don't have plump lips. I have, half the time my lips have lines in them and they're super dry. So many of these women have usually had a little bit of filler, which is an expensive procedure. Then there's Botox, which kind of gives like a tighter appearance. Like I've noticed like people with Botox sometimes like they have like a very slick, a tightened look on their forehead. Then there are laser facials which help with tightening your pores and minimizing any kind of hyperpigmentation or discoloration of your skin. There are lash lifts, you know, the one that lifts your lashes basically, and then there are brow tints, and that feels like with no effort you just like have the perfect brows, like you were born with it. And then of course most of these videos are taken right next to a window in direct light. Like, I do have a light set up here, but I am going to show you what this looks like in direct sunlight. But then yes, of course, people are shooting this right in front of their window, especially during golden hour. Like that's the best nature is giving you, so kind of like why not take advantage of it? And then finally, let's not even talk about post-processing and filters. Now taking all of this into consideration, what about the rest of the people? What about people who have acne scarring, hyperpigmentation, dark circles, rosacea, eczema, people with different skin types or textured skin? What about them? How do we make this trend accessible to everyone? And the very fact that this is called a clean makeup look, does it make like people who can't do this dirty or unclean? Anyway, I'm not here to add fuel to the fire because that is going to probably go on and never end, but I'm going to try to make this look brown skin friendly because I have acne scarring, I have a few marks here and there, I have dry skin, I have a little bit of pigmentation, I have dark circles. So if you want to know how I tackled all of this with the least minimum products, you just have to sit back and enjoy and watch this video. Before we jump in, don't forget to support this channel and like this video if you really enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave some comments below because I would probably have some tips and tricks which I could probably help you out with, so don't forget to comment. Also, all my jewelry is so cute. It's from this brand called Missouri, and there's also this cute little star diamond ring with a chain link around it, which I absolutely love. Let's just jump into this one. First thing, for a look like this, you know, a clean beauty look, you are going to need great skincare products because prepping your skin the right way for your kind of skin type is key. So whether you have acne, you want to put one of those little dots, you know, the patches, you could do that. You know, if something's looking really bad, or if you have the confidence and you can just carry it out by yourself, why not? Anyway, for me, I have extremely dry skin. I'm gonna go in with this Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. I think for dry under eyes, this has made the biggest difference. And regardless whether you have dry skin or oily skin or any kind of skin, please prep. It is probably the best thing you can do for yourself and your skin. I'm gonna tap this in. You also have to give your skin some time to absorb, you know, the the emollients of the cream. So I usually like to give myself about 2 to 3 minutes if I don't have time, but if I do, at least 10 minutes. And I'm also going to take some of this on my eyelids. Don't forget, if you are trying to achieve this look during the day, you have to use sunscreen. For my skincare, I'm going to use this Bio Sunscreen. You can see how it's almost over. And I'm gonna put this, whoops, what's this? And I'm gonna apply this on my skin quite generously because the whole look calls for quite dewy and gleamy looking skin. Once again, if you have oily skin, you can probably use a gel consistency cream. So many brands make it. Try to find like your perfect moisturizer. This is something that I like to stick with. And for me, it keeps changing. By the way, I love trying new releases, new things. And now while this skincare is like sinking into the skin, I'm going to give the entire aesthetic a little bit of a kickstart. And I'm going to use this Caudalie body oil. Oh my god, there's so much cat hair on it. Since the whole look calls for really like gleaming skin, I'm just going to apply this a little bit around, you know, my chest, and you know, just like it just emphasizes like the whole gleamy skin look. Now if you can see, I have a little bit of pigmentation that's sort of going around my neck, and this is mainly because I have a little bit of a skin condition. I am allergic to UVA and UVB rays, but I want to look as even toned as possible. So I'm going to use this Age Rewind Concealer, and this is in the shade Golden Doré. And I'm just applying a little bit. It just helps morph that bit of skin up and just, you know, makes my neck a little bit more even toned. So let's start from the beginning. The first thing is tinted moisturizers or a BB cream. Now, if I had to apply that directly on my face, I think it would be not the best option because I have a little bit of pigmentation around my mouth here, and as you all know, if you've been seeing my videos, I have quite a bit of darkness right in my inner corners here. So if I traditionally just went in with a BB cream or like a tinted moisturizer, it would look pretty horrendous. So what I'm going to do first is color correct my skin. There's only one that I trust myself completely with, and that is this corrector. I like this formula because the consistency is quite thin and it's actually quite easy to blend out. That's like the news flash here. Use stuff that you absolutely love and you know that your skin would also love. I have pigmentation around my mouth too, and I am going to use this around there. Usually around my mouth, I have to blend this a little quick because I feel sometimes it ends up looking a little streaky. I would even pinpoint this corrector and use it on marks that I sort of have, like active pimples or anything. And I'm just like lightly blending it. If you have oily skin, you can absolutely go in with a primer, maybe something that's a little more oil controlling because it gives a little more longevity to your makeup. Now, since the skin is corrected, I can officially move on to my skin tint. And I'm going to use my Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. My shade is 32N. I'm just going to do a few little like dots. And I'm just going to start blending this by just tapping it with my fingers in. And I can always build up if I want a little more, but I'm going to see first. So you kind of want to work with less, and if needed, that's when you kind of work with a little more. Now I know this side for me is a little more, you know, prone to marks and stuff. So I want to add a little more. Your base is ready, and now it's time for concealer. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in Tan Sand. I say this Tarte Shape Tape is almost my natural skin color, if not a little dark. I'm just going to use my fingers to blend this into my under eye. And since my darkness is usually like in the first half of my eye, I'm only going to use this there. And I'll just use a brush now to just quickly blend this out. This is the Age Rewind Concealer in medium, and I'm just using this to slightly brighten certain areas of my face, mainly around here. Remember, this makeup is not like the perfect look, it's just something that makes you look put together. But this is supposed to be low effort and quick. With what was left on the brush, I'm just taking it on top once again. Oily people, you all have to set your face, but here even I have to set my face, because especially around my eyes, my concealer would just start to crease in no time. And I'm just going to tap it in. Now with whatever is left on this brush out of the concealer, I'm just grabbing this across and pulling it across my lids. Next, I'm going to move on to my brows, and these are the two most favorite products. So I like to bring my brows out a little bit, and I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Fix, and I'm just going to very generously coat. This brow of mine is more downward, and it is also thinner than the other brow, but this brow is also more arched. So keeping these in mind, I have to work accordingly and find like my new brow shape and even make them look a little even. Next for me, ideally, is bronzing. My favorite is the Chanel, the Universal Makeup Base. And I'm just like lightly just going over everything, with quite like broad strokes. You can build a little more where you want a little bit more structure. Like for me, it would be on this side because I don't have a lot on that side. And here, I would kind of keep it less, but maybe try to get the angle as this side a little bit more. And I'll also go under my chin, get a little on top here, and I'll just take a little bit into my hairline and the sides of my face here. I'm gonna take some on the sides of my nose, and this is going great, okay? For my blush, I'm just gonna take this Rare Beauty blush in the shade, ouch, this was difficult, Nearly Apricot. Quickly, before I move on to blush, with whatever's left on my brush here, I'm just quickly putting it onto my eyelid just to deposit like the tiniest bit of color. Okay, now I'm gonna go into this blush and just start placing this. Again, if you have oily skin, you can completely go in with a more with a powder blush. Why not? You can even go quite close to your eyes. Doing this look without highlight will leave your skin looking very undone. So I'm going to take a little bit of this highlighter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Flawless filter. I'm going to put two little dots right there, you saw, on my eyes, and a little here. I like to go on the sides of my brows here too. And then I'm just going to start blending all this. Again, if you have oily skin, just go in with a powder highlight and it works perfectly fine. And you see how I'm working it around this, like the eye socket? So I'm just going to do that, and with my fingers, I'm just going to blend like the center on my eyes. It just like brightens the eye slightly. I will just run over a little powder all over the areas that I haven't set. I have to do a little bit of lip liner, so this is the Patrick lip liner, and she's bold. And I'll just quickly pat them down. And for my lips, I'm going to use this Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and the shade is 008 Stone. This is a tinted lip gloss, and it just like gives, the lips like a very nude-ish look. I like to take some onto the Cupid's bow. The gloss reflects and gives the lips a little bit of a pouty appearance. Next are lashes, and I'm just going to use this Sarat eyelash curler. Remember that this is my version of how I like to do it on my face, and it's going to be completely different for you, so don't forget to take the time and like find what works out best for you. And this is probably the best tip, and that is bringing back your beauty marks. I'm just bringing back marks that I already have. Just tap your finger over them, and marks that are here temporarily, if you know what I mean. And that's it. This is my version of a clean girl aesthetic. It's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. None of us are meant to be perfect. But I feel like this just brightens up my face, makes me look put together like instantly. It doesn't take much time really. To prolong the look a little further, I would actually go in with a little bit of setting spray. I'm not going to do it now, but what I would recommend is the Urban Decay All Nighter or the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And this much would be good enough to take you from morning to like early evening sorts. Now I can be the voice of people who are like, you know, like me, brown skin with a little bit of pigmentation around my mouth and dark circles and a drier skin type, because that is what I am. But my recommendation would be that you find someone, like, even if it has to be a beauty influencer or anyone who has similar skin concerns like the way you have, and follow them for a while and see how they do it. How do they cover? How do they work with their skin? What products do they use? So don't let this whole thing overwhelm you, whether you have acne scarring, hyperpigmentation, dark circles, eczema, rosacea, or you're a person with even oily skin. Find a way to cater to your skin type first, and this look is actually 100% achievable by everyone. You have to understand that no matter what, you are beautiful, you are unique, and from this is where your self-confidence will start to shine through. And once you have your self-confidence in place, nothing can stop you. The best advice I can give is that you do you. Whether you like makeup full beat, like full on, full glam, or you like minimal makeup, or you absolutely like no makeup, just be comfortable in your skin. Do what you think is best for you to make you feel good from the inside, and if that again shines through, there's nothing like it. Anyway, let's wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this look, and I can't wait to share more with you.